Alrighty, it's wonderful to see you. What I just did was a C major with a F, C major. Just because I didn't move the bass doesn't mean I didn't go to an F major. I also put a beginning of a B and a D, but with the G note here, it's actually an inverted G major triad. And it feels super comfortable with my 1, 3, and my 5, or my 1, 2, and 5. Today we talked about seeing triads as playing with here with one note extensions. The concept we worked on was a major with a minor makes a 7th chord. If we had a major chord and threw in a 6 down here, we would get a minor 7. If we threw in a major chord here and threw in an E minor, we would get a C dominant 7. When we play in the key of C major, A minor is the natural minor 6th, meaning all the notes in A minor are all the notes in C major. So when we analyze music, if I were to go to any other note besides these white keys, that note would be out of the key of C major. So in the key of F major, B flat is in the key. F, G, A, B flat. It's the only key that starts on the white keys that has all 3 down and then a 4th finger plays, then under. The rest of them just have 3 finger movements that go under. Right? F is the only one that does a 4 from all the white keys. We'll talk about the black key scales. But what I'd like you to do for this week is to see that what we were doing was being able to read these types of notes. So if you have 5 minutes, I would like you to draw 5 straight lines on a piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick any note on this piano, and when you play it, put it on that staff, that measure. You don't have to specify major or minor with one note. It's neither, or it could be both. But when you do see that one note, and then the next note you play, it will have an interval. Thusly, we've talked about perfect fifths. So wherever we lay our 1 and our 5 with the other 3 fingers not playing, it creates a perfect symmetry. The only 2 on this piano that aren't white to white and black to black would be a B flat and a B. Pretty sure we talked about this, yeah? So we'd have sus, major, minor, sus, diatonic 2nd, and then root. And when we go up, we'd have a major 5th. Here's a major, minor, sus, diatonic, minor 2nd. So what we're looking at right here is when we go over our scales and we work on finger notation, we're talking about placement of fingers and then utilizing those with different note variations. So whole, we could go to a whole chord triad doing whole steps, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. If we go through the process of seeing these as being able to play one measure with another measure, we would see that one hand is going to be doing a melody, the concept is to be able to take the chords from C major and make a progression. So the easy progression I'd like you to work on this week is a 1, 4, 5 progression. C major, F major, G major, C major, C major, F major, G major, C major. Notice how the first time I had a C major triad and then an F inversion. What was a perfect fifth now is a perfect fourth. So when we see C to F to G to C, we can notice when we take our left hand, move down, and then play the G, our fingers are perfectly aligned over the other notes. So what we do is we get used to playing like when we alter that C, F, G, to C, maybe if we threw like a D minor in there. An A minor. That last chord I used before the C major was the diminished. The concept is what key is relative to that diminished? How do you use these? I would love to see if you could take your C major triads, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C, and come up with a little ditty. The concept is, if I'm going to be playing a 1, 4, 5 progression, why would I be moving my hands all around when I could just play it right in a centralized location and use one hand that's not jumping around? We will find that playing like a will feel comfortable. See how I keep moving this hand? If I did this, right? Use my second finger and then my pointer finger, I would be ready to make a movement where we place our finger where we had already played without actually playing the note. These help us line up our position for the next thing. The concept between using minors inside our 1, 4, 5, so C major, F major, G major, C, C major, F major, G major, C. Now a D minor and an A minor in between the F and the G. See how those grace notes can be best served as playing a D minor here, an A minor here, and then bringing it back to our G, because these two are closer than having to move our whole hand. We'll discuss this concept in further detail next week, but the concept is I would love for you to start seeing songs like A minor, C major, F major. I'm sure this is probably 100 songs that you know already. Being able to move and fluctuate between A minor, concepts that we're trying to go through here today, we know how to play triads. We're trying to visualize them on a piece of paper. So the concept is writing it down will help. If you take 5 minutes to go through any music that you like, and write it down on a piece of paper, maybe we could analyze that next week. Other than that, you don't have to. I really enjoyed seeing you, and I'll see you again next week. Aloha.